G'day, Keithy here. Thanks for joining me again. Glad to have you with me. So this time we've got a cool little video. I've got a bit of an entourage going on over here if you can see what's going on. Quite a lot of things I'm going to go through with you guys anyway. What we're here today to talk about is coffee. Coffee is life. Coffee is very important. If you're looking at getting into drip coffee, then this is a good video that you're going to like. I've got the DeLonghi machine over here. I'll talk a little bit more about the machine, what it does, how easy it is to use, especially if you've never used one before, so that we can get rid of the dirty old kettle, get into some really good high quality coffee when you want a good coffee in the morning. Stick around. Well, we couldn't go without checking this out.
Tearing up tires now.
G'day, Keithy here. Alright, so it's time to get rid of this bad boy here. I don't think we're going to need that anymore other than cooking a pack of 2-minute noodles. We'll get him out of here. What we got left, quite a lot of an entourage here, so I'll start from the very basics of getting the machine going, talking about what it can do. So first up, what can it do? It can make 2 types of coffees for you. So you can get just your dirty old drip coffee, and when I say dirty old, it's not really dirty old, it's actually quite delicious. And then you can get the European standard drip coffee through this machine as well. So you can see the little buttons down at the bottom here. It'll tell you which one you want to choose. One of them looks like a little drip. That's just drip coffee right there, quick and easy. Press the button, away you go. The other one is the European standard ECBC standard. For anyone playing at home, that'll keep the coffee at around 92 degrees when it's doing its thing. And that will get you, apparently, the ECBC fastest and best coffee you will ever find. So it's a pretty good machine. I've owned this DeLonghi machine, believe it or not, for, 2023? So it'll be 4 years now. I've used it heaps. Still looks like new because it is a well-built machine that's easy to keep clean. And as a result of that, it actually looks like brand new, I'll be honest. It's very, very shiny. You can see it's a oh, I dropped a little bit of water out of there then. It's got a little bit of a reflective base on it. Very pretty to look at. It's a lovely little machine. It's easy to use, it's easy to clean, and it makes great coffee, let's face it. So if you haven't had a drip coffee before, if you're wondering what it's all about, we'll get into it now. If you are a lover of like a normal, put a spoon in it, stir it, and put your milk in type coffee, you can have that as well. I do like milk in my coffee. So it's very important to me to be able to make a coffee, have milk in it. I'll show you how to manage that as well, because with a drip coffee machine, it doesn't allow you to put milk in while you're making it. You have to do that after the fact. And there's a few little tidbits as well for average Joe, if you want to make a normal coffee for yourself. So stay tuned. What kinds of coffee do you want to put through your drip coffee machine? Well, sorry, but your normal Nescafe is not going to cut it, guys. If you've got a good machine, you want some good coffee. I've got 2 examples here, and I like both of these. This one you can see is unopened. Negrina this is a dark roast, so this is going to be a strong coffee if you like a strong coffee. This one here, just an example. I'm not sponsored by anyone in today's video. That's a lovely coffee, unopened that one. And then this one is the Banz Kofi, which is from Papua New Guinea. All the details on the back on where it's from, I'll put them in the description so that you guys can have a bit of a look yourself. I really like this one. It's quite a big bag. It's well priced. And I tell you what, it is a lovely coffee. You can make a normal coffee if you don't like them too strong. It's all about the dosage, and I'll talk to you about that. But this I have found, which is an Arabica coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're into the Arabica, this one has sort of taken my heart as I will drink this every day and feel like I'm awake after drinking it. It is really such a good coffee. You can't go past that. So we'll make a couple of coffees now in both of the ways that this coffee machine can do it. Both just your regular drip and then also with the ECBC standard drip coffee there. So let's get ahead and do that now. Let's fill it all up, show you how every bit of this machine works and what we use to make the coffee and how long it takes. Let's time this. So what I do like about the Clessidra is it comes with this little holder, I guess you would say, for the filter. So you can literally, once you've made your coffee, you can pull the filter and the paper and all that kind of stuff out and set it in here and stand it up. And basically that'll stop it if there are any drips or coffee or whatnot, you don't have to just put this on the bench or whatever. You can literally put it in its own little holder. I do like that. The jug here, this is where your coffee is going to end up, and obviously if you're not having your coffee immediately, it will maintain heat on this to keep your coffee nice and hot. So say you make it and you had to go out for 20 minutes and come back, you want to know your coffee's going to be hot and ready for you when you get home. So that's where this bad boy comes in handy. Now this is an example of one of the filters. So I've got 40 pack here. You can buy them from your local supermarket. I get them from Woolworths when I go shopping. Comes with about 40 of them in there, and it is a size 4, I believe. Yeah, see on the side it says there size 4. Boom, right there. Every time you make a brew, you replace your filter. So I will get 40 rounds of coffee, if you will, from all the filters in that bag there. Mind you, it depends on how much you filter, how many coffees you get out of it, and how much coffee you add. So we'll go and have a look now at the coffee and how I add it per person and how I like to have my coffee. First thing we're going to do, we're going to put our filter in pretty easy. They've got a nice little thing here so that you can separate the sides of the paper, the filter paper, which is quite good, very handy. Very simply, just goes in and you sort of spread the inside out just like that. Robert is your dad's brother. We're not going to be needing this anymore, so I'll just put him to the side for now. Now this will go into this. You think it's pretty simple? Yeah, it is pretty simple. So I normally put it with the little arrowed section to the front because that's the only way that it'll fit. Sometimes you'll find that it doesn't sit flat in there, and that's because it likes to be secure. So you just make sure you press the sides down so that it's not sitting up anywhere. So that part of it is done. Now we need to put our coffee into here. So what I've done here is I've put my coffee from the bag into this old jar that I've got. It just makes it easy to get it in and out rather than every time you want a coffee having to actually open that up. Now for a normal coffee, I like it like a normal person. I'm not any special person with a coffee, just like what you would get if you went to the shops. I find that per coffee, I'll use 1.5 of these scoops. So I'll measure out 1.5. Nice and flat, mind you. Yep, that's pretty close to flat. And half for the second part of that. A little bit much there. So that's about half there. There we go. This little scoop also comes with the machine, which is very handy for doing exactly what I've just done there. Now for this part of the coffee making experiment, that is complete. We can now put it into the machine. Just slide him in and clip. You hear that? So what that's done is that's allowed the machine to pour water down into, or pour the coffee I should say, down into the jug once it's at temperature. The next step from here, to remove the top, and we have to put our water in. Now as you saw before, I have 1.5 cups of coffee down in there. For a standard coffee with milk, now this is slightly larger than a standard cup here. To have a milky coffee, I would use 3 cups according to the machine here. So you see it's got a minimum of 2. It's got 4. It doesn't have a marker for 3, but 3. If I was having 1 cup of coffee, I would put the water in here up to where 3 would be. So I'm going to do that now very quickly. So you'll see that's pretty well where the number 3 would be. So put the lid on nice and gently, and the machine is ready to go. Turn him on. Like I said before, 2 types of coffee here, drip coffee, and then you've got the special European level. So we'll do the drip coffee, normal drip coffee first, and then we'll move on to the special one after. That's why we have 2 cups on the bench. I'm not going to speed this timer up, so I'm going to play some Benny Hill music, no doubt, and you guys can listen along. Away she goes. Let's put the timer on. So the first thing that it's do, it's going to heat this water up here to the right temperature. Then it's going to be draining it through where it will be filtered. So that click is allowing the water now to come in to where all of the coffee grind is and drip through, hence the name Drip Coffee. Okay, you can see up there that it's starting to boil in there. The water's pretty well empty. The one thing that I do not really like about this machine is it will keep trying to boil the water even when there's no water in there. So it's at this point where I would press this button down here for the drip coffee, and I would basically switch it off from doing what it's going to do. Then what it will do is it'll maintain the heat down here for 40 minutes before it turns itself off. So you can guarantee that you're still going to have nice warm coffee ready to go in about 40 minutes time. Okay, now it's pretty simple. What I like to do is I like to take the top off here first and just let it all air out and cool down. Then I'll clean that afterwards. Pretty simple. You just pull it out gently. That's when you'll find this comes in very handy. So it's not dripping. When you remove it from here, this is a little valve here that allows flow through the bottom. So when it's in here, it allows flow. When you pull it out, it will maintain its position as it is here. And you can just put him in there and come back in a couple of minutes and remove that filter out, put it in the bin, clean everything up. But here's what we've got out of here. So like I said before, we made 1 cup of coffee out of this. We put 3, up to the level of 3 with water up the top there. And what we've come out with at the bottom here is very close to 3. It's probably just over the 2 cup mark, to be honest, to make a normal coffee for you and I, average Joe. So I'll put the coffee in here now. Keep in mind that's quite a large cup. And what you see there is just over half a cup here. If you like milk in your coffee, you can put your milk in. We'll do that in a second once we've gone through and gone for the EU certified version, and then we'll compare the two and see exactly which one you might prefer. So we'll leave him nice and hot for now and fill her up and get it going again for round number 2. All right, so here we go again. I'll put the lid back on. I filled her up with the same amount of coffee as we did with the normal drip coffee. This time it's the high intensity European breed we're gonna go for here. Same coffee, same dosage, same amount of water up the top. Lid's on, so let's hit this one this time and we'll see how the coffee comes out. Once that's done, I do like milk with my coffee, so we'll milk it up and then we can compare the two to see how the coffee has altered between the two. I can put this away now, we're not going to need that again. What you're going to find here is now it's going to hold it at 92 degrees. That is the temperature that it's requested as per the European certification. So let's watch it do its thing. So what you can hear is it's maintaining the temperature of the water up the top as it drips through to make sure that it's that European standard. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is how it's done. I'll turn him off. What it'll do now, if I leave it like this, it will just maintain the temperature. I just like to take it back, let it cool down, so I'll take the lid off. We'll put it into the cup now, we'll add the milk as I like the milk. We'll warm them up and then I'll taste test them both in front of you and we can determine the difference between the two coffees. Cleaning is pretty simple. I've already taken all of the old coffee and whatnot out of there and put him in the bin. I like to just go around, fill him up, and then I hold this open while I'm rinsing it, and you'll see there that it allows the water to come out of the bottom, or drip, if you will, hence the drip coffee machine. Give it a good little rub, and I would consider that pretty clean. It definitely doesn't have a strong coffee smell. In fact, it has no smell. It smells like I've just washed it with water. Normally I'll try and put something underneath here just to keep that open and allow the whole thing to dry top to bottom, so I will do that in a second. Next up, the lid. I'll just give that a quick rinse off. Just a very quick one because this has only been exposed to water, just cleans it basically. And then we have the actual cup itself. I start from the top because the coffee does go through the top like this, just to make sure that if there's any residual coffee, it gets cleaned off. Give him a little wipe with the hand, quick stir. And then I go through on all of the internal edges, just to make sure that it's all gone. 3 rinses I find, and it doesn't smell at all like coffee in here, which means next time you go for it, it's going to be a fresh brew. Just like that. There we go, that smells completely fresh there. I'll just move this out of the way. And I normally set it down just like that, right there. And I will let it drip dry for a little bit. If I was going to make another coffee, I would hand dry it so that I could get right back to work. How easy is that? Okay, here we go. So we've got our 2 coffees here. First impression, I can see that this one looks a little bit darker than this one does. So this was our Arabica. They're both Arabica, I should say. This one was our European standard, and this one was just the normal drip from the machine there. So I'll start with this one here, and then we can go to that one there. I've heated them both up so they are the same temperature. Oh, yeah. So that's a beautiful coffee in anyone's opinion. If you like milk and sugar and whatnot with your coffee, then you can do all of that, of course. You know, you don't have to deprive yourself of what you like in a coffee. I don't have sugar in my coffee normally. I just have it straight with milk. That was quite nice there. Now we're going to try this European standard one. Oh yeah, so okay. So same coffee. This one is the quick and easy. This one is the European standard. That one there does taste a little less intense, maybe smoother is probably the word. This one does taste a little stronger and perhaps bold using the same coffee. I'll just try this one again. Yeah, that's the only taste difference that I can really put down to these two here. So, I mean, unless you are a 100% coffee connoisseur, I don't think you're going to find too much different between the two. You can look at the times that it took to make each of these in the same machine. Make your choice there. If coffee being done quick is your thing, then you can see which one was quicker. But they were both made the same way in the same machine on the same day using the same milk and the same coffee. I say there's only one thing left to do now, and that's to go and have a drink of coffee, but which one? It's only me here, so I guess I'm having 2 coffees. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. I hope I helped you out. I know it's a little bit of a long video, but it really puts you through how to operate that machine, what you get at the end of the machine when you use it, cleaning it, and also sitting back and enjoying the final product. It really is a good machine. I love it. I've had it for, about 4 years now. Every morning I have a coffee with that machine. I think in the time that it takes to make that, as you saw right there live, it's not actually really any longer than filling up an ordinary kettle, boiling it, getting all your ingredients together, and then making your own coffee. The difference is you get a really, really lovely coffee. There's plenty of choices for the Arabica type coffee, so you can go and get whatever flavor suits your needs. I love that one from Papua New Guinea. It is beautiful, and I will continue getting that one. Thanks for watching anyway. I will see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your coffee. Catch you later.